this video, we will reuse of the midshoot R code and igraph package with new datasets such as Harry Potter and Marvel Avengers movie and FTA social issue datasets. My point, if you reuse the R codes and package, you can extend your own examples with the new dataset. In a previous week, I recommend you select your own dataset for used igraph and midshoot R code. So did you do it? In this video, I will introduce another new samples of igraph and midshoot R code reusage. First one is Harry Potter. As you can see on the screen, if you use the harrypotter.csv file, even though we use the another comments similarly of the midshoot drama, we can get a new visualization result. Of course, you can't check the harrypotter.csv file. I uploaded CSV file in iCampus, so you can download it and you can check it directly too. If you click harrypotter.csv file, there are the main characters and extra names of Harry Potter. You can delete the empty rows, of course, but to distinguish each lines clearly, sometimes we can put the empty lines, but don't worry about it. So we put our own meaning from direction to two direction, right? So Harry can send a message to Ron, or Harry can call to Ron, or Harry can send email to Ron. According to the series of the Harry Potter story, we can get the interactions such as the message or calling or email and so on. So if you assume the interaction from two relationship, we put the name of the from to the two the receivers of the characters, right? Exactly, if you want to consider the type of the relationship, you can put your own meaning to the direction. So you can distinguish the type of the direction according to the weight. So if the more the directions is have a larger weight, we can put the color to the direction, or we can control the size of the each edge with the weight, right? But it is up to you. So if you extend the if you extend or put more information to the vertex and edges, you can do it all by yourself after midterm test. All right? Okay. And we consider around the 40 rows, maybe. Yeah. If you divide to the total of the rows, we can omit the empty lines. So we only consider around 40, yeah, rows here. So different from the midshoot graph, the Harry Potter graph is a little more complex than before, right? So the more we consider big data size in CSV file, naturally we can get the more complex graph in detail, right? It is the natural way for that. And the remaining comments are same over the midshoot, so you can test it all by yourself. So you can put the direct argument with T, or you can't put the direct argument with false. So when you compare the direct argument is t, there is the directions for each edge, right? But if you put the false to the direct argument, there's no directions information here. So that is the only the general graph format, including vertices and edges, right? Okay. We can also consider second data set of Marble. So Marble is the one of series the movie, and maybe recently Avengers movies what happened. So did you watch it? If you are interested in the Marvel movie, we can make our own the CSV file per each series, right? So in this CSV file, I only the Marvel main characters and extras with the uh, number of 20 rows. So that is the small data sets similar to the midshoot, right? But if you add your own data sets according to the series or your interest, we can get more complex graph. But as you can see on the screen, before watching Marvel movie, if you want to explain Marvel movie to your little sister or your friends with this result, they can imagine the main characters are three, and Iron Man is still main character in Marvel movie too, right? So if you want to your own marketing strategy or talk to your friends about new item such as movie, novel, or articles, if you uh, analyze them with the data sets, you can improve your persuasion for that to others, right? So according to the object and regardless of area of the studies, recently most students try to analyze their data sets with their own major, right? So it is very helpful to persuade others sometimes. So I recommend it to you. All right. So if you consider direct with t, we can naturally get the graph with this. And if you put the first to the direct argument, we can only the general common visualization of a graph, as I mentioned before. So please download two data sets and you can do it all by yourself in our studio, and you can put your trace in your own Word file. All right. So um, at this point, I reuse the igraph and the R code of midshoot for new data sets. The last data set is the FTA, the social related the data set. So I put the data set's name FTA list.csv. If you open this CSV file, this file is larger than before three data sets. So please look at it in detail. So if you open the FTA list.csv file, there are around 220 rows are there, and this data set explains the relationship among countries for FTA, the association. So using these data sets, we can recognize which countries are main for FTA association and which countries are extra for FTA association like that, right? So I extend the small data set to the number of the 220 loads. So I recommend you use the FTA list.csv file. instead of manual typing. All right. So naturally, we can get more complex data sets. As you can see on the screen, Japan, China, Singapore, Australia, Korea, Turkey, and USA are main countries for FTA. And still, there are many extra countries for FTA association, so you should refer them, all right? And most parts of the codes are same with the previous one, but the main point of this example is layouts on the with that graph of the function. As you can see on the screen, there are many vertices and edges for visualization. So if you omit 31 comments with sharp comments, you are uh, impossible to recognize the graph clearly. So please test without this comment with Ctrl Shift C keyboard shortcuts that is hidden to the R interpreter, right? So you should put the comment special character sharp front part of this comment. And then if you consider this comment, the layouts underbar with dot graph of the functions was applied to the plot, so it scales the large graph relatively. So we can clearly get visualization results um, flexibly. So I recommend you use the layouts on the bar width on the bar graph of the function before flat for scaling a large graph. All right. So what is the layout on the bar width on the bar graph of the function? If you are for the first time for use this function, you can search this function in Google or in RStudio. So we can try it in RStudio together. You can put question mark 2 times and you can um, lay out with, all right, lay out with graph opt. Yeah, graph opt, graph opt. But our interpreter yeah our interpreter shows the result on the right side. So layouts on the bar width on the bar graph opt belongs to igraph package. So if you click this um, link, you can get more information similar to the F1's keyboard shortcut, right? So layouts on the bar width on the bar graph opt is the algorithm for scaling relatively well to large graph. That is the point, all right? So different from previous CSV files, FTA list.csv file includes the number of the 220 rows, right? So it is still larger than before. So if you want to visualize the large graph, you should use the layouts on the bar width on the bar graph opt. There are several arguments here, but in this source code, we only use the charge argument and mass argument, all right? What is charge argument? Charge argument is used to calculate electronic repulsions. The default value is the smaller than 1. But if you use the around 500 according to your computer screen status and your own the status, sometimes you can flexibly modify the value from the small one to the large one. In my case, I used the 500, all right? And you can also use the mass. So mass is used for the spring forces, all right, of vertices. The default value is 3, but in my case, I use just 3. So you can also modify the value of the mass according to your status. All right. So using this information, we can get the result with a defined variable name L. And if you put the L value into the layout argument for plot function, we can clearly visualize large graph, all right? So you can use these functions similar to this source code, okay? All right, so in this example, you only modify 2 or 3 lines different from previous one. First is you should modify the FTA list.csv file name, and you should add the layout on the width on the graph of the function before plot function for scaling large graph relatively, all right? And sometimes you can use the edge.arrow.size parameter with the specific value. So if you modify the size value of the edge arrow, you can um, change the visualization graph according to the value, all right? So you can test it all by yourself too. And if you want to get the degree number of the data sets, we can use the degree function independently. And if you get the result with the FTA variable, you can print out with the print function as well as cat function. If you use the cat function, you can print out 2 or more data. As I mentioned, difference the printout and cat function in a first week maybe. So you can print out the number of total nations and maximum concluded and minimum concluded and so on. All right. So you can do it all by yourself with enough time with 3 new data sets, and then you can type our code all by yourself in RStudio, and you can put your working date and your name and subject on top of each R code, and then you can paste um, in your own Word file, and you can add your conclusion and explanation and your understanding all by yourself. So it is free format as we exercised them already many times. All right. Okay. Thank you. In this video, we reviewed the R code and igraph package with the new 3 data sets. Even though that is the toy data sets, but we should review and had enough time for controlling each data set for the various visualization. All right. Okay. Thank you. See you next video soon. Bye bye.